The aim of argument or of discussion should not be victory but progress. Our best comes out when we have honest discussions. Let me have the privilege to take you through our panel discussion 1 on NEP, that is National Education Policy. But before that, let me introduce our expert panelists to you. We are greatly honored to have special guests for this panel discussion. A very warm welcome to you all. First, I would like to introduce our first panelist, Ma'am Seema Biji, Principal Moti Ram Arya School, Chandigarh. Just welcome her with a huge round of applause. Ma'am is an educationist to the core with 28 years of experience as educational professional with 13 years of experience as principal and other management position. Ma'am is an expert communicator who thrives in student and parent-facing role with extensive record of student success and high rate of parent satisfaction. Next, I would like to introduce Ma'am Ritu Bali, Principal, Accept School, Chandigarh. Huge round of applause for her. Ma'am is a meticulous, diligent and a confident administrator with over 32 plus years of verifiable work experience in education sector. Thanks for taking out your valuable time for today's discussion. The next panelist is Ma'am Gurmeet Goldie, Principal GHS Kajeri. Ma'am is a renowned sculpture artist who has been working in clay, wood, metal and stone for more than 2 decades. Her consistent and continuous working not only helped in understanding the nature of the different materials, but also familiarized with the form in consonance with the beat of her heart. Thanks for joining us, ma'am. Next, I would be calling Bhavna Sharma, ma'am. Huge round of applause for her. Ma'am is a coordinator at Accept Chandigarh. Ma'am has done her post-graduation in English. She has total 23 years of experience. Ma'am has been awarded with Best Teacher Award by State Public School Nakoda and Teacher Excellence Award by IIHM. Ma'am, thanks for being a part of today's discussion. Last but not least, I would like to invite our Honorable Principal, ma'am. I will not be speaking much about her. Ma'am has told me strictly not to mention any of her accomplishments, but I must say actions speak louder than words. So I request Ma'am Monica Chawla to take over mic as moderator and carry on the panel discussion.
Wonderful speakers in the beginning. The hall is all geared up for the panel discussion now. And as Rima ma'am has desired, we have to actually cram it up now what FLN is all about and how we can achieve it. So let's start with panel discussion 1 and I welcome all the esteemed panelists here. Thank you so much for being here. So we'll be starting with a very important aspect of today's world, the cliche, the rhetoric, creativity. So the innovation is not about tools, it's about people, processes and pedagogy. Innovation no longer remains a choice but has become an imperative. An ounce of innovation is worth more than a ton of theory. So my question would go to Dr. Seema Biji. What innovative changes are expected in the curriculum at different levels in the coming years to realize the vision of NEP, ma'am?
Good morning to one and all, and I'll begin with the structural change which has come up, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure is there with coming of the NEP, and starting with the very foundational stage, the children will be enrolled in the school at the age of 3, and from 3 to 6 years they will have an access to free, safe and high quality early childhood care and education in Balvatikas. And our teaching methodologies will certainly see a shift from to fun-based, play-based, activity-based, as you could witness in that presentation before. So, and there will be a change in the methodology, and lot of stress will be on the foundational literacy and numeracy skills, and for that teachers will have to rework their methodologies, in fact transform their methodologies to strengthen, develop these foundational skills by the time the child reaches class 3, grade 3. And coming up to the next stage, that is the foundational stage, and with age group of 6 to 8 years, they will again see that flexible activity-based learning takes place in that stage. And then coming up to the next stage, that is the preparatory stage. That is again grades 3 to 5 and age group 8 to 11, they will have innovative, activity-based and interactive classroom learning experience. Then coming on to the middle stage, which is very, very important, and a lot of changes are going to be witnessed at that stage. Coding is going to be introduced at this particular stage, and they will be exposed to number of skills there, which are so very important. They are going to discover and explore themselves. This is a pre-vocational stage. Experiential learning will be introduced in sciences, maths, social sciences, and various other areas. So children will discover themselves and prepare themselves for the next stage, that is the secondary stage, where a lot of emphasis will be on the critical thinking skills and flexibility in the choice of subjects. So class 10 and 12, coming up to the board exams, they will be much easier, but they would certainly be testing the core competences, and there will be no place for rote memorization. Conceptual clarity will be emphasized and tested. So in school education, the curriculum will focus on essential learning outcomes, multidisciplinary approach, experiential learning, and vocational education, along with a component of environmental education and digital literacy, hence shaping all-round development of the child, shaping all-round developed children who are conscious of the environment. And for teachers, I think there will be a lot of changes in the methodology of the teachers. And since mother tongue is going to be part of the teaching process, the teachers have to be encouraged and empowered to be bilingual to achieve the learning outcomes, the best learning outcomes. So to discourage rote memorization and learning, the teachers need to shift their emphasis from syllabus completion to defining their learning outcomes through innovative strategies. And I think NEP is going to change the future of education in India. So it has a very promising future with holistic development, emphasis on holistic development. And NEP aims to develop the learner who can thrive and succeed in the rapidly evolving world. Thank you.
Thank you, Seema ma'am. Very much within time limit, 4 minutes. And a very apt answer, I would say, ma'am. I would like to reiterate the point you mentioned, essential learning outcomes. That's something which is a central focal point for all the teachers, whatever they plan, whatever they deliver, whatever they assess. It's all revolving around the learning outcomes. So ma'am used a wonderful phrase, essential learning outcomes, which are must to be achieved by all students irrespective of their academic acumen. And one more thing, syllabus completion versus percolation of learning outcomes to the deepest level. So the focus should not be that syllabus is completed or not, but the focus should be that whether the essential learning outcomes has percolated to the deepest level in the classroom or not. So very well said, ma'am. Thank you. Now we move to the 3 verticals of education, that is the curriculum, the pedagogy and the assessment. किसी भी स्कूल का स्टैंडर्ड या किसी भी स्कूल की एजुकेशन या किसी भी स्कूल के रिजल्ट्स इन 3 पिलर्स पे खड़े हैं. करिकुलम क्या है, पढ़ाया कैसे जा रहा है और उसको असेस कैसे किया जा रहा है. So for these 3 verticals we need to transform the whole system of education in every organization as per what national education policy is expecting. So how do you encourage teachers to be ready for the same? Because it's a big change. Drafting of the curriculum has to be changed, pedagogies have to be changed, and the way we are assessing our students also has to be changed. From lots, it has to go to WATS level, higher order thinking scale. So my next question is to Ritu ma'am, that how teachers can be equipped to handle the national education policy.
Good morning, one and all. Before me, Reema Diwan ma'am, Ravindra ma'am, Monica ma'am, everybody's mentioned about PISA. And when we talk about our teachers ready to handle NEP, I believe in Chandigarh we can say a big yes. But when we look at the other areas, when we look at other states, when we look at smaller towns, when we look at villages in the rural areas, where probably there is one teacher who's the principal to PM kind of a thing, and in such places, NEP is definitely going to be a challenge. Though in Chandigarh, we are lucky, with the PISA, CCT came into our curriculum, and it was not just limited to the classes mentioned there. Gradually, within 6 months, we all apprehended and realized that we need to take it down. We just can't straight away introduce this because the time that was given to us for almost more than a year. So we calculated that the kids who are actually we are preparing are not going to give the PISA test. And over a period of time when the teachers started going in for the training programs, you must have realized that they started getting comfortable with the CCT pattern. And gradually, somewhere or the other, the questions started getting added into our question paper. And initially, what we did in my school was that we actually gave a heading CCT, so that the teachers remember that this question has to be a creative and critical thinking based. It cannot be any other way. So gradually, the children also got used to it. Then we had the city we had NAS. Then we went in for SAFL. So that PISA training helped the kids really, because I was one of the observer for SAFL exam, and it was so nice to see the children engaged in trying to solve the questions of SAFL. And they were very interesting questions. I couldn't help peeping into the computer and reading the questions. And I remember the age group that was attempting at that particular minute was class 5 kids. The only problem that the kids faced was with the word Tonga, because they didn't know what is Tonga. And I don't blame them, because growing up in Chandigarh, they don't know what it is. So there was only one child who stood up and asked, I know everything else, what I'm reading here, but what is this word Tonga? I don't know what is it called. So I told him, I said, something like carriage. Have you seen one? He said, yes, I have seen. I said, that is what it's something like. It was used as a means of transport. So somewhere or the other, probably we need to go back and make our children familiar with what was our ancient ways of transportation. These children only know scooter, car, bus, train and aeroplane, probably that. They can't think of any, but we know, we've done it. We've traveled in a Tonga. Some of us would have done it, at least my generation. हम टोंगा में भी गए हैं, हम रिक्शे में भी बैठे हैं, हम बैलगाड़ी में भी बैठे हैं, हम हाथ से खींचे वाला है जो रिक्शा होता है in Calcutta, we experienced that also, though not a very nice experience. It doesn't feel good about it. But हमारे बच्चों को ये नहीं मालूम है, और ये हमारा heritage है, इसमें कोई शर्म नहीं होनी चाहिए. We should not hesitate to introduce the children. There's no shame attached to it. And I made the children understand. I said something like a carriage, उसमें queen बैठ के आती है coronation के लिए, and even special rides are done by that. So that is what happened. So creative and critical thinking is definitely staying, and neither do we want to lose out on that. So somewhere or the other, I'm sure we all are very well equipped to handle it. The only problem is now bringing it down to the grassroots level. Remember, in India, we need to probably go back to the old times, Acharya Devo Bhava, where teacher was put at par with God. And हमारी society में teachers को हम nation builder बोलते हैं, we do call them, but do we actually believe in it? हम teachers से expect करते हैं कि वो हमारे बच्चे को बहुत कुछ सिखाएगा. My child is going to learn everything. Every doctor, engineer is coming from some teacher or the other. They are not born doctors, they are not born engineers, they are not born scientists, actors, or RJ, or whatever they want to be today. Somewhere or the other, some teacher has played an important role in guiding them to be what they are. But still, the society thinks that teachers cannot do critical thinking and creative thinking. Creative thinking is only associated to an art teacher. Art का teacher है तो वो creativity लाएगा. एक English teacher है, एक mathematics teacher को तो कभी हम सोचते ही नहीं है कि वो creative भी हो सकता है. And if you've seen that movie तारे ज़मीन पे, you remember the least creative people were mathematics teacher only in that particular movie, which is so wrong. We need to actually make our society change this concept that teachers cannot be critical thinkers, teachers cannot be creative thinkers, and they cannot create these abilities in our children. So what do the parents do? They send their child to some coaching center, कहीं पे बच्चा आर्ट सीखने जाता है बिकॉज द चाइल्ड हैज टू गिव एन एंट्रेंस एग्जाम ऑफ NIFT और NIT. वहाँ पे हम बच्चे को पंचकुला छोड़ने जाते हैं बच्चे के लिए, क्योंकि उसको हमने ट्रेनिंग दिलानी है, निफ्ट का एंट्रेंस क्रैक करना है. सो वी हैव टू चेंज दैट कॉन्सेप्ट दैट दिस ऑल दिस कैन हैपन इन द स्कूल. So for that, we have to bring a change in our curriculum. We need to change our methodology. We need to change our pedagogy. And the most important change has to come in the assessment. If we still grade the children, I taught my child A for apple, B for ball, and my child has to write apple only. And there was a time it existed, you know that. My initial years in convent actually was like that. Whatever was given by the teacher, you had to verbatim, you had to come up with is, a, everything. And if you missed out on something, you were penalized. But now we need to change that concept. You need to teach the child, if you've taught the child A for apple, then go beyond it. Let's have more words. Let the child come up with an aeroplane. Let the child come up with anything that he can think of. And as a teacher, we need to give those words. So let's stop teaching the child A for apple. Why not A for an aeroplane?
And now artificial intelligence.
Yes. Why not? Yes. AI. So that is the way we are going to groom, and that is the only way we'll be able to handle NEP. Otherwise, if we do not change our mindset, if we do not change our thought process, our approach towards learning new concepts, we will have a tough time implementing NEP. So let's bring, and please do not, earlier what was happening was this foundational years were little neglected. These are neglected zone. Only thing we were interested is that my child starts, can count 1 to 50, 1 to 100, whatever is the curriculum decided. My child should speak all the ABCD, couple of rhymes. That's what the parents would show up. Auntie आए हैं उनको एक poem सुना दो. And the kid used to probably hate, teacher ने क्यों सिखाई है, मुझे ना सिखाती ना मुझे सुनानी पड़ती. So the rhymes have to change now. Now we've learned, we've taught the child mathematics, then we taught the child 1, 2, buckle my shoe. We've already done that. So only thing is, we were doing everything. Now only thing what we are doing is, we are giving headings, we are putting them in compartments, we are putting them in categories. So the teachers, as teachers, we only need to just revamp ourselves, that's all. It's like, let's go to the parlor, let me get my hairdo, let me get my pedicure, manicure, facial, all done, and come out looking absolutely brand new and fresh. So it's the same old things, we are just changing the packaging, and we are just making you take your job a little more seriously. And we are asking others to look at the pre-primary staff with more respect. We are looking at our NTT teachers with little more respect and more than what they deserve. Because I feel that is the most difficult years, that is the most difficult stage. Because you are not only teaching the child to read, write, you are teaching the child manners. By the time in class, the PGTs get the children, they're already very well groomed. You don't have to, you tell the child to sit, the child sits. But in pre-nursery, when you tell the child to sit down, he doesn't. He will only do if he wants to do it. So this FLL is actually asking us to look in that area carefully and try to groom ideas. Try to give a bigger platform to the entity teachers so that they can start working over one pretty common goal, that is to fulfill the criteria of FLL. And I'm sure it's not a task that we in Chandigarh can't do. Quoting, we are going to do that a lot today.
Yes.
Diwan ma'am, Chandigarh rocks, and it will continue to do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank
let's
you so much.
not just rock, let's shake up the world also.
Yes,
with us.
yes.
We need to do
Right,
that.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I think very well portrayed the entire picture of what teacher needs to be equipped with. The best part was, letting teachers change their minds and welcome creative answers, not just what they taught, but what the child understood and how the child wants to portray that understanding on the answer sheet. Above all, like ma'am said, we all know what to do, we know how to do, but the point is when we'll start working in the classrooms. So there's a beautiful quote which says, to know what to do is knowledge, to know how to do is skill, but doing it is virtue. So when we gather the information from such platforms as we are here today, we need to ensure that we note down some takeaways which are more convincing to you as an educator and just take it to your classroom directly, So that is something which I really appreciate, ma'am, and even the element of CCT questions which ma'am is saying has added in the question paper. That also is very nice. Like we usually add HOTS questions and we usually promote teachers to diagnose their question paper. पिछले साल का question paper उठाओ और देखो कितने questions HOTS level के थे, कितने LOTS के थे जो आपने बनाया था. अगले साल अपने आप को challenge दो कि 10-20% और डालने हैं HOTS level के. So that's really nice, ma'am, that you are motivating that they should have CCT questions incorporated in the assessment. So thank you so much for so creatively contributing to.
Add one more thing. We've even added one category to the question paper, that is environmental sensitivity.
Okay. Environmental sensitivity element in the question paper, which again is a very nice
Which makes the child
concept, because sustainable goals is what we are chasing, and that also can be very nicely integrated into our assessment. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next, ma'am. National education policy focuses on reduction in curriculum, we all know, and it's trying to promote only core essentials कि syllabus ज़्यादा ना बढ़ाएं, syllabus को limited रखें, focus रखें core essentials पर, critical thinking पर, interactive classes पर, like जहाँ पर student talking time ज़्यादा है, experiential learning पर. It also talks about technology integration, bagless days, arts and sports integration, storytelling, and also experimental learning. So in the light of all this, my question goes to Gurmeet Goldie, ma'am. How can we restructure our co-curricular calendars as per the new education policy? Over to you, ma'am.
नमस्कार. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है पहले तो आके. मुबारकबाद मोनिका मैम को. थोड़ा सा मेरा आज गला बैठा हुआ है, फिर भी चलेगा क्योंकि टॉपिक मेरी मनपसंद का है. तो मैं आर्ट फील्ड से हूँ, आर्टिस्ट हूँ और स्कल्पटर हूँ, जैसा कि मैम ने भी बताया. तो मैं हमेशा बच्चों के साथ मिलजुल के काम करने में मुझे पसंद है. सुबह भी जैसे रविंदर मैम ने बोला, गुरुकुल की जो परंपरा पहले भी चलती थी, स्कूल्स तो अभी बहुत बाद में आए हैं, और जब से दुनिया बनी है, जब से हम लोग पैदा हुए हैं, तब से क्रिएटिविटी ही, जो कह सकते हैं कि मन के जो भाव हैं वो पैदा होते आए हैं. तो आर्ट में जैसे मैंने भी नॉलेज ली है या पढ़ा है या देखा है या सुना है कि जो सबसे पहला जो मन का भाव निकला था, स्कल्पचर की बात करें तो अजंता लोरा की बात करते, वहाँ पे सबसे पहले जो सबको मालूम होगा, शायद किसी ने देखा होगा कि स्कल्पचर कैसे बनते हैं, तो उसने अपने हाथ का इम्प्रेशन ही लिया था. एक हाथ के इम्प्रेशन से उसको इतनी खुशी हुई थी कि मैंने कुछ कर दिया. लाइक वो सिंबल है आज हमारे लिए कि इंसान कुछ भी कर सकता है. तो उसी से जुड़े हैं हम भी कि अभी गुरुकुल की बात हो रही थी, तो मैं एक सेंटेंस आपको बताना चाहूँगी कि कितने भी आर्टिस्ट हुए हैं, पहले कोई स्कूल या कॉलेज नहीं हुआ करते थे, लेकिन क्रिएटिविटी उनमें भी थी, भाव उठते थे, सुबह उठते थे कि कुछ करना है ना. जितने भी आर्टिस्ट हुए हैं, क्योंकि मैं आर्ट से रिलेटेड हूँ, मुझे शायद वो बात करना ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है. माइकल एंजेलो का नाम सबने सुना होगा, फाइनेस्ट आर्टिस्ट हुए हैं. उन्होंने कोई ऐसी कॉलेज में कोचिंग नहीं थी. बहुत सारे आर्टिस्ट हैं, पिकासो है, और भी बहुत सारे, सूजा हैं, सीजा हैं, मोना हैं. ये कोई भी आर्ट कॉलेज में नहीं गए थे, लेकिन फिर भी आज बहुत सारी इनकी बुक्स हैं और जिनको आज हम उनको कॉपी करते हैं. लाइक उन्होंने कुछ तो किया है ज़िंदगी में कि हम लोग उनको मानते हैं या उनको पढ़ते हैं, उनकी आर्ट जर्नी को देखते हैं कि उन्होंने सक्सेसफुल कैसे लिया. तो यही चीज़ें जो मुझे पसंद है, क्योंकि मैं बच्चों से मिलती जुलती हूँ या हमारा जो रिलेशन है बच्चों के साथ ही है, तो वो चलता रहता है दिमाग में कि आज बच्चों के साथ क्या चीज़ नहीं करनी है. क्योंकि एक शायद बुक आपने भी पढ़ी होगी कि कॉपीकैट मार्केटिंग, मुझे नहीं मालूम किसी ने पढ़ी है कि नहीं है. उसमें भी यही चीज़ें बताई कि जो बच्चे होते हैं वो हमारे कहने से कुछ नहीं करेंगे, जो हम करेंगे वो चीज़ वो करेंगे. यानी कि नकल मारने वो ज़्यादा होशियार होते हैं. अगर हमें ये चीज़ मालूम है कि वो नकल अच्छी सी मारते हैं या करते हैं, तो हम उन चीज़ों के ऊपर फोकस क्यों ना करें कि उनको वो चीज़ प्रेजेंट कर दें ताकि उनको देखें और सीखें। तो ये चीज़ मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगती है कि अभी पेरेंट्स भी बैठे हैं, उनसे भी मैं थोड़ा सा इंटरेक्ट करना चाहूँगी। इंटरेक्ट नहीं, यानी कि उनकी जो फीलिंग्स हैं वो भी यही चीज़ मानते होंगे कि हम बच्चों को कहते हैं लाइक कि झूठ मत बोलो, लेकिन हम लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं तो बच्चा क्या सीखेगा, है ना? उसको हम सिखा नहीं सकते, लेकिन जो हम करेंगे वो एकदम फॉलो करेगा। और स्कूल में भी जैसे बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज़ हम लोग इसीलिए करवाते हैं कि बच्चे कुछ अलग सा सीखें। लाइक स्कूल में जैसे कोई वर्कशॉप चलती रहती हैं। अभी हमने लाइक पेंटिंग की वर्कशॉप्स है, पॉट मेकिंग है, एम्ब्रॉयडरी की है, नीटिंग की है, ऐसे बहुत सारी वर्कशॉप्स। क्योंकि देखो बच्चे जो हैं, मेरा जो स्कूल है पेरीफेरी का स्कूल है, सभी बच्चे अबव 90% नहीं हो सकते, वो मेरे को भी मालूम है, वो टीचर्स को भी पता है। उनको ऐसी चीज़ में क्यों डालें हम कि वो चीज़ वो ना कर पाए, ऐसी स्किल्स में डाला जाए ताकि आगे आने वाले टाइम में वो कुछ कमाई कर सके, उनकी कमाई का वो साधन बने। हमारा मोटिव ये है। कई बार वो अंदर ही अंदर चलते हैं कि भाई हमें तो 60% 70% नहीं ला रहे, हम जिंदगी में क्या करेंगे। अभी रविंदर मैम ने भी बोला कि कंपैरिजन हम लोग करते हैं, हो जाता है कि एक अच्छे घर से बच्चा आ रहे हैं और एक बच्चा ऐसा है कि जिसको खाने को भी लाले हैं घर में, वो बच्चे के पास पैसे भी नहीं हैं और बच्चे के पेरेंट्स भी अनपढ़ हैं, तो वो बच्चे को हम ऊपर कैसे लेके आए। तो एक ही जरिया है, एक ही माध्यम है कि उसको ऐसी चीज़ों से अवगत करवाया जाए कि वो उसकी रोजी रोटी का साधन बने। तो वैसी जो हम एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, हमने जैसे कैलेंडर बना लेते हैं, सभी लोग बनाते हैं कि उसके अंदर टाइम टेबल में ही एक पीरियड डाल दिया कि इसमें ये टीचर ने, या हम लोग बाहर से भी बुला लेते हैं एज एन आर्टिस्ट। मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त हैं, तो अब कैश करने का टाइम है उनका, तो किसी को भी हम बुलाते हैं बच्चों के लिए कि भाई आज वाटर कलर की एग्जीबिशन है, वाटर कलर की वर्कशॉप है। तो वर्कशॉप का प्लस पॉइंट ये है कि बच्चा जब जीरो से लेके एंड प्रोडक्ट तक देखता है कि भाई अभी प्लेन पेपर था, अभी इसके ऊपर ड्राइंग की है, कलर किया है, फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आ गया। वो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट हो सकता है। तो आई थिंक वो ज़्यादा उसमें सीखता है, वो घर जाकर जरूर प्रैक्टिस करेगा कि मुझे भी ये करना है। तो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट हो, ज़रूरी नहीं कि फाइन आर्ट्स हो। पॉटरी का है, आजकल पॉटरी की मार्केटिंग बहुत है, सभी लोग जानते हैं, है ना। सूट्स की बहुत सारी, पेंटिंग की, फैब्रिक पेंटिंग की, घर में जैसे अभी बाहर मैं देख रही हूँ बच्चों ने बहुत ही बढ़िया बढ़िया चीज़ें बनाई हैं, लेकिन इन चीज़ों की मार्केटिंग है अब। तो जो बच्चे वो चीज़ कर सकते हैं उनको उसके प्रोफेशन में डाला जाए तो इट्स बेटर आई थिंक। तो उस मतलब 5-6 चीज़ें हम लोग पकड़ते हैं कि उसी को रिपीट करना है ताकि बच्चे जो है 100% तक पहुँच पाएँ। पहली बारी में वो चीज़ नहीं हो पाएगी तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, दूसरी बार में कर लेगा, तीसरी बार में कर लेगा, लेकिन उसको प्रैक्टिस में डालना है। प्रैक्टिस में डालना ही हमारा काम है कि उसको वो चीज़ दिखा दो, बेटा इसको प्रैक्टिस में डालना है, तो बच्चा जरूर करेगा और 101% करेगा। अभी हमने कोलाज मेकिंग की वर्कशॉप की थी, आर्टिस्ट को बुलाया था हमने, लोकल आर्टिस्ट हैं, मोहिंदर तुली, शायद आपने नाम सुना होगा, बहुत एमिनेंट आर्टिस्ट है। तो बच्चों को एक बार उन्होंने करके बता दिया कि बेटा ऐसे 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 सब कोलाज मेकिंग, पहले तो चलो उनको बता दिया कि इसका क्या मोटिव क्या है, इसका क्या फ़ायदा है, और बच्चे इतनी अच्छी क्रिएशन करते हैं उनके बिना भी। अब हम कभी भी उनको पीरियड में दे देते हैं कि भाई आज कोलाज मेकिंग का पीरियड है, तो ऑल आर वेरी हैप्पी, बहुत खुश होते हैं वो चीज़ देख करके भी आज कुछ अलग देखने को करने को मिलेगा। और हमने स्कूल में भी एक वॉल स्पेशल उनकी बना दी है कि बच्चों को खुशी भी होनी चाहिए ना कि हमने कुछ करा है, हमने कोई क्रिएटिविटी की है। कोई बच्चे की कुछ भी हम वॉल लेंगे, कुछ भी जब स्कूल में लगा देते हैं तो वो उसका जो एक मनोभाव है उसकी, वो उसकी जो प्रवृत्ति बोलते हैं वो हाई हो जाती है। तो उसी चीज़ को हमने हाई लेवल पे ही लेके आना है, हमारा ये काम है। अगर देखो, अगर हम किसी से प्रेरित होते हैं तो हमसे भी कोई ना कोई होगा, तो इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। हम भी अभी आज मैं बैठी हूँ, बहुत सारे लोगों को सुना है, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें मैंने भी नोट की हैं, है ना। तो जैसे रीमा मैम ने बोला कि वी आर ऑल आर लर्नर्स, तो जो बंदा उस कैटेगरी में रहेगा कुछ ना कुछ, तो अगर एक पॉइंट भी हम हर रोज सीखते हैं तो पूरे साल में सोच लो क्या चीज़ प्लस होकर निकलती है। तो ये चीज़ मैं बच्चों में भी डालती हूँ, टीचर्स में भी डालती हूँ कि हो सकता है वो चीज़ें हम लोग अननोइंगली हम लोग नहीं सुन पाते या नहीं कर पाते, तो एक बार अवेयरनेस की बात होती है कि बच्चों से हम ये चीज़ कहें कि भाई एक रजिस्टर लगाओ, आज आपने क्या अच्छी बात की वो भी लिखो, क्या अच्छी बात नहीं की वो भी लिखो, किस बच्चे से आज लड़ाई की वो भी लिखो, आज हमने क्या क्रिएटिविटी की वो भी लिखो। तो आपके पास पूरे साल में कितनी चीज़ें इकट्ठी हो जाएगी या एक हफ्ते में कितनी चीज़ें इकट्ठी हो जाएंगी जो हमने करनी है, जो हमने नहीं करनी, जो हमने अच्छी बातें की, टीचर ने हमेशा अप्रिशिएट किया, हमेशा उसको प्रशंसनीय शब्द बोले, जो हमने लड़ाई की या गला पकड़ा या कुछ भी करा, किसी का आर्टवर्क खराब कर दिया। कुछ ऐसे बच्चे भी होते हैं, लाइक हमने कुछ डिस्प्ले करा तो वो निकाल भी लेंगे थोड़ी देर के बाद कि मेरा नहीं लगा तो इसका क्यों लगा, लाइक तो उनको ये चीज़ें समझानी है हमने कि भाई कल को आपका भी इधर लगेगा। तो एक हमने प्रैक्टिस में डाल दिया उनको कि क्या चीज़ अच्छी है, क्या चीज़ बुरी है, कि अगर हम जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं तो अच्छी चीज़ें पकड़ लो, बुरी चीज़ें उसको डिलीट कर दो।
Thank you, ma'am. I think very valuable words. The best part is ma'am is talking at the end about self-reflection technique. If the children are given this habit of reflecting upon their daily doings, writing their journals, or even reflecting upon what they learnt in a class on a particular day, क्या अच्छा लगा, क्या difficult लगा, किसको कैसे आगे याद करेंगे, how will they overcome their obstacles, in how much time. Wonderful, that's a very nice technique, ma'am. And nowadays it's all the more important for all educators to teach children the art of self-reflection. आपकी जो बेस्ट पार्ट थी कि हर रोज़ क्लास में कुछ नया लेकर जाना एक टीचर का एक बहुत ही बड़ा एम और ऑब्जेक्टिव होना चाहिए, प्लस वोकेशनल स्किल्स के ऊपर रेगुलर ट्रेनिंग और वर्कशॉप्स होने चाहिए. I stand witness to the same because I was also invited for teacher training. So you are actually working amazingly for empowering your teachers as well as your students with various skills. Then ma'am suggested that we can also include periods where speakers are called from different fields so that at least if not academics, children can have feel good factor about whatever art they love to do, they are brushing up or they are gaining acumen in. So really nice. And one more important thing which ma'am highlighted was that teach them not through preaching but through practice. Preaching is very easy, we can say 10 things to a person, but are we ourselves doing those 10 things? So it's better we start practicing as a teacher, students will follow automatically. They are very good at imitating us. So very much grateful to you ma'am for your valuable inputs on this. Then awareness is a prerequisite ma'am before regulating any common goal or 100% implementation of any policy. अगर हमें किसी पॉलिसी का 100% इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इंश्योर करना है तो उससे पहले उसकी अवेयरनेस बहुत ज़रूरी है. क्या सबको पता है पॉलिसी है क्या? What are the important postulates, what we need to implement, how we need to work on it. And for above all, awareness is one of the greatest agent of change. If we wanted to eradicate polio, we had to create awareness. If we wanted to eradicate HIV, we had to create awareness. If we wanted to eradicate drug abuse, we had to create awareness. So is true here also. And as there is a very important, beautiful line which I came across, and I'm sure you all will like it. All you know is a subset of all you have known. आप अभी जो भी जानते हैं वो उसका सबसेट है जो आपने अब तक जाना. Which is a subset of all there is to know, which in fact is a subset of all that is known, and which in fact is a subset of all that will be known. So if we understand this fact, we realize this fact, humility becomes our breath and curiosity becomes our water. So we will be curious every day. We want to know what is left, what I need to learn, what I need to inculcate. So ma'am, Bhavna, my question is around the same. How do you feel we can effectively create the awareness about national education policy at grassroots level?
Good morning to one and all. There are so many learned people here. I am really short of words of saying, speaking on the topic. I'm sure we must, before coming here, we must have gone through various videos, various topics written on FLN. And when we go through these, we actually think that what is new in it, we are already doing it. Many topics, I have been teaching pre-primary for last 15 years and then shifted to primary wing. But I can actually say that 99% of the videos or the content which we go across, the feeling is that we are already doing it. We already know it. But the thing is that at many a times we know it, but we forget to implement while our regular teaching. So knowing it more deeper, perfectly, we need to have regular hands on it. We need to have regular workshops for teachers, for the stakeholders who are actually implementing these policies which are made by the government. The CBSE are actually implementing it. Inculcating these things, empowering our students is in our hands as teachers. And to be more potent, we need to be regularly learning. Like regular learner, we are all learners, but the thing is that regular workshops, maybe 3 months or maybe 4 months, and a very good way of learning these things, these policies. There are certain things which we might skip also. Just like we say that children learn best in peer groups, then why not we teachers as peer can also do some brainstorming and sit a few weeks, after a few weeks together and think about what are the good things, what are the things which are missing from this particular policy which we can implement in our teachings. And in the same way, when we are making checklists for the students, after every month, we review whether the concepts which we have been teaching to the students, whether they have learned it or not. Then it is actually most of the time that the lists are made and a report is given to the students or to the parents. But we are not doing any remedies to overcome the points, the places where the students are lacking. We can sit together and think about these things where the students need help, so that their FLN is improved, so that they are better ready for the next concept and eventually for the next class. So I feel that the awareness of any policy can be brought only through sitting together, not only by reading about it or going through the circulars, but actually thinking and implementing it in our day-to-day teaching. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being so brief, ma'am, and so very accurate also, hitting the nail on the head. Can we clap, please? See, the best part she brought up was that there is no better way than peer learning. If we see the learning pyramid, it says कि जब आप किसी और को पढ़ाते हैं तो आप 90% learn करते हैं, whereas all other methods are much below that percentage. So what we are doing today is also a part of that. Group discussion is also a kind of peer learning. We are learning from each other's experiences, each other's opinions and point of views. And checklist point was very amazing point raised by ma'am. Checklist is a very good method, but what she emphasized was that though we are making good checklist for the students, we are filling it regularly, maintaining our records, but what about strategizing the gaps which are being diagnosed through the checklist? So checklist को use करने के बाद जो gaps हमारे identify होते हैं, उनको fill करने के लिए हम कितना strategize करते हैं वो और भी ज़रूरी है. And the best part which I liked was that we teachers also must, observe each other's teachings so that we can draw ideas and we can become more empowered. अगर हम अपने ही staff को, अपने school के colleagues को underestimate करेंगे, that's not a good idea. Each teacher has his unique way of teaching. So if we start observing each other's classrooms, I think we'll be much better and smarter educators than before. Thank you so much for adding so much of value, and of course awareness will definitely reach next level if we all will start exchanging our views, collaborating ideas, and above all, working together in pairs. Now we move to the second round, which will be a very quick round, just 1 minute to answer each question so that we can move on to the next part. So here, I will start with a small beautiful quote for all the educators present in the hall. शुक्र है शिक्षक हो कुछ और नहीं, शुक्र है शिक्षक हो कुछ और नहीं, मैं और सड़क एक जैसे कहलाते हैं, मैं और सड़क एक जैसे कहलाते हैं, हम वहीं रहते हैं, सबको अपनी मंजिल तक पहुंचाते हैं, वही कक्षा वही किताबें, वही कक्षा वही किताबें, होते कभी बोर नहीं, शुक्र है शिक्षक हैं कुछ और नहीं. So you all are amazing teachers and all the good blessings to all the wonderful educators present here. Ma'am, so the question goes to Dr. Seema Biji. True teachers use themselves as bridges over which they invite their students to cross, and then having facilitated their crossing joyfully, they encourage them to create their own bridges with other people and draw more. So what do you think, ma'am? How do you elaborate the role of teacher education in achieving the goal of NEP? Teacher education.
I think teacher education plays a pivotal role, especially in achieving the goals of NEP 2020. They kind of enhance pedagogical skills, so which are so very important, and equip the teachers with the latest strategies and techniques in line with NEP 2020. By creating student-centered and experience learning environment in the classroom setting, teachers create a dynamic learning process in the classroom, thereby cultivating deep sense of passion amongst the students for learning. And like I said, I have to be brief, so I'll focus more on how 2-3 components more, like prioritizing inclusive education practice in the classroom setting is very, very important, so that we give equal opportunities to all the learners to thrive and succeed in life. And then for teachers, it is continuous professional development that is so very important for all of us, for each one of us as principal educators as well, because it kind of enhances our learning and keep us updated on the latest techniques and educational advancements. So I think teacher education programs, they bridge policy and practice. So it is very, very essential that our educational programs are very effective, and with the changes in all the structures which we are going to face in NEP. So our teachers have to be fully prepared. They have the Masters of Art, Integration, Experiential Learning. So a lot lies on the shoulders of the teachers, and hence, of course, education institution, teacher education programs have to be very effective in keeping with the goals of NEP. Thank you.
Very nice, ma'am. Very happily said. Yeah, you were very brief and you were very rich also in terms of your answer. I think ma'am emphasized on student-centric approach, inclusive practices in the classroom so that we can include every kind of learner, and above all, the professional development programs have to be, really geared up everywhere, because 21st century pedagogies में आता है gamification, game-based, collaborative, cooperative, flipped learning, then problem solving, project-based, design thinking, so many are there, and ma'am really has rightly emphasized कि उनको ये सब training देने की बहुत ज़रूरत है before we finally say that our teachers are ready for the implementation of NEP in the classrooms. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to talk about again the formula of 3I, intent, implement and impact. Intent अगर सही होगा तभी उसका implementation सही होगा, और अगर implementation सही होगा तभी उसका सही impact आएगा. So ma'am, at times it is a lack of intent and at times it is lack of ideas. Ritu ma'am, this is for you. So intent की कमी हो तो principal can wear the cap of a motivator or an inspirer and just try speaking to the team and motivate their spirit कि let's get together into it and start doing it. लेकिन अगर ideas की कमी हो तो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. Intent है लेकिन हमारे पास ideas नहीं है implement करने के लिए. So ma'am, what do you think, what kind of platforms can be created for exchange of innovative ideas?
Like ma'am said, unless and until we exchange ideas, we don't learn. Half of the time we learn with ideas. Now for teachers, there are very few platforms where they can actually assemble and share. A platform like what we have done today. I'm sure you must have met each other in the morning, introduce yourself. Now the best way to do is, like when I met Monica ma'am, we exchanged our numbers and some or the other we stayed in touch. And it's been a learning experience. I've not taken over the mantle of principal for quite many years, just a recent kind of a thing. So whenever we met, we've been talking. Seema ma'am is there. We've met as observers. We've met, we've exchanged our numbers, and that's how we stay connected. So I believe for the teachers also the same thing has to happen. When you assemble, when you meet in a place like this, in a workshop, in a conference, in a seminar, some training program, even when you go somewhere as an observer, you go somewhere for some other, even for paper checking also for that matter, please do get connected with few like-minded people and share your numbers and create your groups. As an HE, I had a group of teachers who worked under me as an examiner, and till date I'm connected with them. So whenever somebody has any idea, whenever somebody has any doubts, they put it in the group and we try to find an answer to it. I'm a language teacher, so you know, language is ever evolving. Though people consider it to be a dead kind of thing, but the children can come up with sentences sometimes that can leave you confused whether is it correct or is it incorrect. So the best thing is put it in the group and you immediately get 20 answers there, you know you're on the right way. So this is one way of connecting with each other to share ideas. The other is, all of us are there on social media. Probably an Insta page, somebody who's very tech savvy, an Insta page can be created by people who are all here and others can start joining. And in that Insta page, you share ideas. It can be a classroom teaching taking place, some TLMs, what we saw in the PPT today, something like that can be shared. Then a journal, maybe we are asking the children to write the journal. Why not the teachers? At least every day at the end of the day or at the end of a topic that the teacher has taught, the teacher needs to go back and see. Once you are assessing the children as to whether my child has understood, and for that the best way to do is in the beginning of your class, you taught a topic yesterday. So before you start with your topic, please ask the children what did they find easy yesterday and what was the most difficult concept or topic that they couldn't really comprehend. So let the child stand up, and even some child says and stand up, and even you can do even a raise your hand also. 5-finger types, you know, somebody understood completely, raised 5 fingers, somebody who understood moderately, you know, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 1 finger, like that. So you'll get an idea how many people have not understood. Now when you complete your topic, please go back and reflect and see if most of the children didn't understand. So that means somewhere or the other the deliverance was wrong. So the teacher needs to introspect. And then probably share in the group, I was teaching this topic and so many children couldn't really grasp it. Can somebody give me an idea how I can make it easy? So this is one way. The other way, in the school itself, have departmental meetings. Most of you have it. But instead of assigning tasks in the departmental meetings, pick up a topic. Maybe every class, one topic can be picked up, and then we brainstorm as to how this topic can be made more interesting and easy to comprehend from the children's point of view, not from my point of view. I've been teaching this topic for past 20 years. I don't need to understand. मुझे लगता है बहुत आसान है. But please go back to your school time. You know, there was a time when I knew, while doing my reported speech, I knew my sentences right. But why and how, I didn't know. I learned it as a teacher. When I became a teacher, I had to tell my children why do you have to change the tense, why this tense was changed. Now, see the difference. Yeah. So the same thing you need to remember in your departmental meetings, that come down to the maybe one teacher can go on the other side, become the teacher, and the rest of the department can, colleagues can become the students. And then comprehend, conduct a class. That is one way of exchanging ideas. That is so. And for that, the timetable should be created in such a manner where departmental meetings can be, you can assign one specific period. All the teachers of that particular subject should be free to be part of it. And that should not be only for the seniors. It should be like starting from the classroom till the class 12 teacher. So that is one way where you can do it.
Yeah.
So these are some of the platforms. And I believe there's an autonomous body is going to be created. I think NEFT is going to be there. NETF. A forum is going to be created where the teachers will be able to share ideas. And please don't sit like, this is my idea, I don't want to share it with anyone. most of the time that is what we suffer from.
This
मेरा
is-
idea चोरी हो जाए.
This is, I think, a key point. I think we can give an applaud
So
that we
let's
need to, as an educator, we need to be more into sharing. Let's not have,
I would like to add,
selfishness.
in the pre-primary we teach sharing is caring. And we need
So
to
we
start
need to follow
practicing
that,
it.
yes.
We need to start practicing it.
Very well said, ma'am. I think grabbing the opportunity, ma'am said that wherever you meet, try to make networks, try to get connected for exchange of ideas, for finding solutions to the problems of your common domains, and also try to, get connected maybe through blogging, through Insta page, or whatever medium you can carve out. Today, in the world where we have so much of social media platforms available, why not to use it for professional growth? Relationship will definitely be a bonus attached, isn't it? So if we are exchanging ideas, we'll develop stronger relationships, stronger bonds. And something very nicely ma'am said that it's important for us to address the concerns of the students and not just think as a through a teacher's perspective, via the lens of a child, for whom the topic is new. And how that child can actually get hooked to the topic, that is something a teacher has to deliberate upon. And these department meetings are always a wonderful platform, and I think most of the schools have a practice of stay backs for HOD meetings, or early morning they can be coming early to catch each other and just discuss on the given agendas. And the gap analysis during the department meetings also is very fruitful, and then of course strategizing the same to how to fill the gaps. So ma'am, I think very well answered in a short period. Again, moving to Gurmeet ma'am. Ma'am, knowledge of languages is usually considered a doorway to wisdom. Language is the blood of the soul into which thoughts run and out of which they grow. Language से ही हमारी thoughts develop होती हैं. So NEP talks about promoting multilingual teaching, and at the same time significance of local languages also increases all the more when we say we have to go for multilingualism. So local language हम ignore नहीं कर सकते. So how do you think we can ensure increase of knowledge of local languages while still providing the global education?
बहुत ही बढ़िया क्वेश्चन है और दिल को छूने वाला है, क्योंकि हम लोग इंसान हैं और हर रोज़ रिलेट करते हैं किसी ना किसी से, क्योंकि बच्चों में रहते हैं तो हमारा जो मेन मकसद है बच्चों को कनेक्टिव करना है, हर सब्जेक्ट के साथ उनको जोड़ना है. जुड़ेगा तभी जब टीचर्स और बच्चे का रिलेशन होगा. बहुत सिंपल सी बात है ना. नहीं तो अगर हम अपनी कुछ भी उनको सुनाते जाएंगे बच्चा नहीं सुनने वाला. अगर हम उनको जिसको कहते हैं ना माँ बोली जो है उसके साथ बच्चा और इवन हम जो हमें अपने पेरेंट्स से मिली है उसी को माँ बोली कहते हैं, है ना. वो कोई भी लैंग्वेज हो सकती है. बहुत सारे कंट्रीज़ की अपनी अपनी लैंग्वेज है. हम भी कंफर्ट फील करते हैं. मैं अभी स्वीडन में थी 2 महीने, तो कोई इंडियन मिलता था मुझे भी खुशी मिलती थी कि मैं इससे 4 बातें कर लूँ. लाइक हम कंफर्ट जोन में होते हैं, तो बच्चा भी उस लैंग्वेज को लेके कंफर्ट जोन में होता है. तो हमें भी उसको वही चीज़ देनी है जिसमें वो चीज़, वो पढ़ाई, वो कोई भी एक्टिविटी उसको समझ में आ जाए. हमारा मेन मकसद यही है, उसको समझाने का ही है. वो उसकी बोली में अगर बोलेंगे, अगर माँ को देखें तो माँ भी बच्चे की बोली बोलती जब वो छोटा होता है. अगर बच्चा मम कह रहा है तो हम भी मम पीना है कि उसको समझ में आ रहा है. बहुत सिंपल सी बात है ना. तो ऐसे ही जो छोटे बच्चे हैं उनको उनकी भाषा में ही समझाया जाए तो उनको जल्दी अंदर ले लेते हैं वो चीज़. तो मदर टंग की बहुत सारी इंपॉर्टेंस है. उनको खुशी मिलती है कि मैम भी मेरे जैसे बोल रहे हैं, तो वो जल्दी सीखता है. अगर हम उसकी बात नहीं सुनेंगे, अपनी सुनाते जाएंगे तो वो इग्नोर करने वाला, वो सीखेगा नहीं. हम वहीं के वहीं हैं. तो ड्रॉप आउट्स की भी अभी बात चल रही, तो वो मेन रीज़न उसमें ये भी है कि हम बच्चों से रिलेट ही नहीं कर पाते. बच्चा भी हमसे रिलेट नहीं कर पाता. उनकी भाषा बोलना बहुत ज़रूरी है. नो डाउट बाकी लैंग्वेज भी उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंस है, उनकी भी उतनी इम्पोर्टेंट है. बहुत सारा ज़रिया है आजकल. मीडिया बहुत तेज़ है, बच्चे वहाँ से बहुत कुछ सीखते हैं. इवन स्कूल भी उनके लिए बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स करता है कि वो अपनी लैंग्वेज से हट के, जैसे हम भी प्रोग्राम करते हैं, उनको लाइक बाहर भी लेके जाते हैं. उनके दिमाग में और चीज़ें भी पड़े, लाइक म्यूज़ियम में ले जाते हैं, साइंस सिटी ले जाते हैं, अभी जैसे हमारे ऊपर से गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से बहुत सारी ऐसी प्लेसेस है जहाँ उनको ले जाते हैं ताकि उनको अपनी लैंग्वेज के अलावा और चीज़ों की भी नॉलेज हो जाए। तो जो चीज़ देखते हैं वही मैंने पहले भी बात की थी कि जो चीज़ हम उन्हें दिखा देते हैं वो पूरी ज़िंदगी उनके मन में रहती है। और टीचर का कहा हुआ तो वैसे ही नहीं बच्चे मतलब ना नहीं कह सकते। अगर मदर वही चीज़ बोलेगी तो वो शायद कह दें नहीं मेरी टीचर ने यही बताया, तो बिलीव करते हैं उस चीज़ के ऊपर। तो जो लोकल लैंग्वेज है उसके ऊपर हमें फोकस करना है, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, कि हमें तो बच्चों को समझाना ही है एक्चुअली, क्यों जैसे भी समझे वो जल्दी समझ पाते हैं।
So I think very well said. Ma'am is trying to I think emphasize कि local languages के साथ emotions attached होते हैं हमारे. When we see somebody speaking our local language, we start connecting to that person better. So for that emotional credibility which we can gain from the local language being used in the classroom teaching learning process is something amazing, which can always be relied upon. And it helps us to make bridges also. We connect with each other better when we are multilingual, when we are using local language. And very nice connect which ma'am has established it कि dropout rate का एक कारण ये भी है कि we fail to connect with our teenagers. We fail to understand their language and their concerns. What dilemmas they go through during their teen and turmoil, we are not able to identify them. So when we start speaking their language, I think we'll be able to connect, understand their needs, cater to them well, and there will be lesser dropouts. Thank you very much, ma'am, for valuable inputs. Now we move on to Bhavna, ma'am. Ma'am, Ken Robinson said that creativity is as important now in education as literacy, and we should treat both of them with the same status, as literacy as is the creativity. So can you help us suggest some teaching methods which are good in formulating better practices and policies using the same?
Ma'am, we are planning to have FLN as we are introducing it, and at most of the time when we talk about it, as we in Chandigarh we are mostly English medium schools, so we take it as English language, whereas language here is not talking about the medium, it is as a language. So when we are planning our lessons, we have to be very creative in that form. Once our lessons are planned in a creative way, only then our teaching will be creative teaching. And most of the time, playway learning is the best way of teaching students at the beginning of level. When they start coming to school, 3 months is I think the time when they become familiar with the teacher, they become used to the routine, and they are comfortable. And then instead of making them sit in one place on day one and telling them that this is what we are going to do now, and then thinking that the students are going to follow us and start learning from day one. Because think of the child as a 5-year-old child. Do you think he will be comfortable sitting in one place and just listening to the teacher? No. For example, if we are going to teach them shapes, instead of drawing the shapes on the board and telling them that this is a square, this is a cuboid, or this is a cylinder, why not give them blocks? Give them blocks, tell them to play, make whatever they want to do, and we can add to it. We can color the blocks in different colors, and once the child is done with it, has created something out of it, we can ask what you have created, we can ask how many blocks you have used, how many cylinders are there, and different colors, of course. So in this way, in a playway method, we can introduce any topic to them, and once their interest is peaked, they will definitely grasp the topic which we want them to learn actually. So playway method is the most common, the most effective way of teaching the students at the beginning of the levels. And then of course we can build up on it by having different methods. We can give them freedom to decide how they want to do today. You can go to the class, enter the class and ask them that we are going to do this topic. Tell me do you want to sit in the class or let's go to the playground and do it? Why not have a circle time and introduce the topic there only? Even if you are telling them and they are listening to you, but still moving out of the classroom and just having the fun of sitting in the circle is going to make them interested in listening to you. So I think these are the ways which are going to help us in developing it.
Very well said, Bhavna ma'am. Thank you so much. The very first word she started was so much accurate, and I would say hitting the nail on the head. The lesson planning. So the teaching methods have to be highlighted or planned meticulously in the lesson plans, taking care of that they are flexible. Ma'am is saying that they have to be flexible. Let's not be rigid in our approach. And also we need to break the stereotypes. Not only in the classroom, not only through the teacher, it can come from the students, it can be outside in the ground. And most importantly, what ma'am's complete answer revolved around was Maslow before Bloom. हमें Maslow पे भी focus करना है, सिर्फ Bloom's के Hots और Lords पे नहीं. Maslow says the basic necessity first, followed by what we say belongingness, followed by self-esteem, and then a child can achieve the level of self-actualization. So very well answered, ma'am. Thank you so very much for wonderful inputs. I think we all can give a round of applause to the rich panel we had today. Rest assured, the way they all are connected and committed to their profession and the kind of answers they have given to the questions, it clearly reflects that I am sure there is no looking back, it's all marching forward together with all the wonderful inputs received by the panelists, and I could see so many teachers penning down the ideas. So I am sure there were a lot of takeaways drawn. Once again, a big thank you to each one of you for being here and for sharing your piece of wisdom. Thank you very much.